MAGA stands for resegregation and racism. MAGA is explicitly a Nazi movement.
Up next, this ex-NFL kicker just got arrested at a California city council meeting for his insane anti-Trump rant and stunt. Let's take a look at the clip that's going viral, and then we'll chat about it. This is former Vikings punter Chris Kluwe. Take a look.
Unfortunately, it's clear that this council does not listen, so instead I'm going to take my time to say what MAGA has stood for these past 3 weeks. MAGA stands for trying to erase trans people from existence. MAGA stands for resegregation and racism. MAGA stands for censorship and book bans. MAGA stands for firing air traffic controllers while planes are crashing. MAGA stands for firing the people overseeing our nuclear arsenal. MAGA stands for firing military veterans and those serving them at the VA, including canceling research on veteran suicide. MAGA stands for cutting funds to education, including for disabled children. MAGA is profoundly corrupt, unmistakably anti-democracy, and most importantly, MAGA is explicitly a Nazi movement. You may have replaced a swastika with a red hat, but that is what it is. I will now engage in the time-honored American tradition of peaceful civil disobedience.
Get the heck! Get out!
Wow, he is just so stunning and so brave. The raw courage it takes to go to a city council meeting, knowing you're being recorded, and pop off on an unhinged progressive rant, then lie down on the floor and let police arrest you so you go to jail for a couple hours, then get out with a fine, and then get back to posting on Blue Sky. It's just stunning. I mean, you're basically Anne Frank, the Harriet Tubman, the Rosa Parks of our time, bravely putting it all on the line to resist tyranny. Sarcasm aside, like, this dude is unhinged, and I rolled my eyes so many times the first time I saw this video that I practically gave myself a headache. Resegregating America? Bro, you can criticize things that Trump has said over the years about race. He's made some controversial, divisive remarks about it for sure, but they're not resegregating anything. You sound hysterical and delusional. They're rolling back DEI, but that is not the same as and how many times do I have to explain that that's not the same thing as bringing back segregation? Y'all sound cracked in the head. They're moving back towards non-discrimination, equality of opportunity, and getting rid of like the identitarian stuff that's reverse discriminatory and re-embraces the divides between groups and preferences some groups over others in the name of like social justice or whatever. They're getting rid of that. And you can disagree with it. You can argue about it. We can have a debate, but they are not bringing back segregation. And you discredit yourself instantly when you pop off with these kinds of hysterical statements. And some of the other stuff he's saying is just not true. They're not firing air traffic controllers. They cut from the agency, right? But it was non-essential, non-security personnel. The hiring freeze did not apply to air traffic controllers. Like, this guy just seems kind of impervious to facts. He does have a point that they messed up and they fired some important people involved in the nuclear weapons maintenance of our arsenal. And then they quickly had to rehire those people. And that was like an embarrassing, not great move for Doge and for the Trump administration. But like when you have one nugget of truth surrounded by a bunch of fake stuff, you're kind of discrediting it. You're making it hard for people to actually hear the one legit criticism you made. And I mean, look, you can disagree with Trump, you can hate Trump, but to call MAGA an explicitly Nazi movement is just delusional. It's just unhinged. It's a movement that proudly embraced supporters and voters and candidates of all different races, of Jewish people. Trump is very openly pro-Jewish at times and pro-Israel. It's like, you can say a lot of things, but it's hysterical, and it's also kind of offensive to like the memory of all the people who were harmed by the Nazis to so casually and so thoughtlessly invoke them and just throw that around like candy on Halloween. Also, like, you'd really like to think that they would learn at some point that this doesn't work. This kind of doomsday, the sky is falling rhetoric, constantly having the dial turned up to 11 out of 10. Like, at some point people just tune you out and they don't listen anymore because you sound ridiculous. And I just laugh when he's like, I will now engage in the time-honored tradition of civil disobedience. Again, bro, you're not Rosa Parks. This isn't hitting the way you think it hits. Like, nobody is in awe of your bravery. You didn't really do anything or put anything on the line. And in fact, a lot of progressives, like woke people on the internet, are heralding this guy as like a hero. And I'm like, for what? For going on an incoherent couple-minute rant and then lying down on the ground and getting arrested. I mean, I checked out his Blue Sky feed. He explained they just had him in custody for a couple hours. They processed him, gave him a fine or whatever, and then he was out back home with his wife. Like, he's not actually part of civil disobedience is true sacrifice. Like, you have to be protesting something real. So not like shadow boxing with a fake movement that you imagined to resegregate America. And two, you're supposed to like actually put consequences for yourself on the table. Like, Martin Luther King Jr. was writing letters from jail, right? Because he was in true civil disobedience. Just like committing minor civil infractions and getting a fine and then just going home and acting like you're stunning and brave. It doesn't impress me, at least, is what I'll say. I don't know. What did you guys think of this stunt? Have you heard of this guy before or seen his antics? Apparently he's been like very vocally left-wing for a long time. I also don't know anything about football, but apparently he was not a very good punter. Tell me what you think, your reaction to his viral meltdown, and let me know in the comments. I do read the comments, and I love hearing what you guys have to say.